For 3 busy days in February, the International Energy Forum here in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia played host to energy experts from around the world. They were here to discuss supply and demand, the energy transition, and the future of the energy environment right across the world. Producers and consumers came here together along with industry experts, think tanks, NGOs, financial operators, investors, you name it. They came here to the International Energy Forum to discuss exactly what was going on in the energy market.
This meeting marks a new milestone event in the IEF Energy Dialogue.
The current Energy Minister, His Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, was one of the founding fathers, so to speak, of the International Energy Forum. This was an idea that was to bring producers and consumers closer together. And here we are, 20 years later, at this wonderful headquarters in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia.
It's been 10 years. For me, it's been not 10 years, it's been 32 years of trying and aspiring for this moment to happen.
On day one, the big focus was on Europe, the Green Deal, and exactly what is going on in Europe and what will happen when Europe adopts a more renewable system, or will it or not? And will it work in Europe or will it work around the world? All of these questions were being discussed.
I think the main value of this forum is that it puts together different regions of the world and creates a dialogue and a common understanding of the different issues and the different situations that we are facing going forward.
The European Union consists about 9% of global emissions. We have to think about the remaining 91%. So we have to engage in a broad conversation globally. This is one of the main reasons why we were having today's event.
The transition is the speed of the transition. We need to say clear, goals. We need clear deadlines so the investors, will know what to do.
The IRENA KAPSARC Symposium was also a new edition for the first time. KAPSARC has been a partner for many years, but bringing IRENA into the fold, the International Renewable Energy Agency, really added a new dimension. And for the first time being here, I think it will be just the start of many more to come. Everybody is talking about the future of energy, and the future of energy will demand, and it will include indeed, a diversification of energy. We're looking at everything right across the board, and everybody from all forms of energy has to be involved in this conversation.
Well, as far as the kingdom is concerned, renewables will be a very, very important part of the energy mix as we go forward. There are big programs underway in the kingdom for solar panels, for wind power, and other forms of renewables, possibly even including biofuels.
The team that we have chosen for this discussion in collaboration with KAPSARC is very relevant. So is the role, actual and future of renewables in the energy mix. So what best place to have the discussion here today?
For the future, the investment for the fossil fuels is about 11 trillion US dollars, a huge big money. And for the downstream, it also needs about 3 trillion US dollars. And for the renewables, needs about 1.1 trillion US dollars.
Of course, one of the highlights of the February meeting also was the 10th anniversary of the IEA-OPEC IEF Symposium on Energy Outlooks. This happens every year here, where we really get to examine OPEC, get to examine the IEA, and really look at the different outlooks, what they mean, and indeed how they're applied right across the board to all interested stakeholders.
The forum is crucially important in terms of comparing the various outlooks from the various institutions.
The Saudi role in the declaration of cooperation between OPEC and or participating non-OPEC countries into the declaration of cooperation has been very pivotal, very instrumental.
This is a very significant year for Saudi Arabia. Of course, the 20th anniversary of the International Energy Forum, but more important, it is also the G20 that's been held here in Saudi Arabia this year. Now, the ministerial meeting for the International Energy Forum will be held in September, close to the G20. So huge focus on the energy sector here in Saudi Arabia, and in general, great focus on what's going on here in the kingdom.
The fact that the G20 will be happening here in Saudi is an opportunity for the kingdom to show its commitment and to show it not only by talking to people in such an international forums, but really showing on the ground efforts and the commitment that the government and the private sector is doing to address this global issue.
All of the delegates who attended this February gathering agree on one thing. They agree that the conversation is even more important than ever before, and it must be continued, it must be broadened, it must be strengthened. And the place to do that is at the International Energy Forum.
The need for pragmatic discussion and bringing all perspectives together has never been higher, and the International Energy Forum is the right organization to do that.
It's great to see that the IEF is living up to that promise as being a leader of fostering the dialogue of what it takes to bring energy for all on a sustainable basis.
An issue as so challenging as energy is and the environmental issues, you really need to have a very comprehensive discussion and dialogue, and that's a role that the IEF has to play and will continue to play that in the future.